Right, welcome back everybody. Thanks for joining me. Standing in the living willow archway that isn't no longer an archway because the winds broke the top. Anyway, in this one, I'm going to go through 5 different ways to protect your beds over winter. This isn't a how-to at all because I'm a beginner, but this is 5 different ways that I've seen, and I figured if I tried different ways, I can then gain the experience of what works for me and what doesn't. So we'll go over 5 different ways of protecting a bed, mainly from the rain and the elements washing the goodness out of the soil. And also, I'm going to show you a in-bed wormery that I saw on Nick the Gardener's channel, and he showed how to do it. So I thought I'd put one of those in because it looked like it would be beneficial to me in what will be my strawberry patch next year. So I'll show you that. We'll have a general look around the outside of the garden. I've also just planted up the last bit of garlic that or the elephant garlic that Duncan sent me from Coastal Gardens, North Wales, and as it was his garlic, I've done it the way that he did it, in tubs. All right, so if that's of any interest to you whatsoever, let's get on and have a look around. Now, before we go in, I'll just show you the living willow hedge that I put in February, and now the sweet peas are off it. You can see how it's crisscrossed, giving it quite an interesting look. Well, I think it is. Anyway, there's a video on that if you want to go and have a look at it. I seem to have acquired another water tank. Don't know what I'm going to do with that. Laura's beds still growing the lettuce, protected by dragons now, you know, like you do. Right, let's get on to the first way of, yeah, I still haven't cleared that up, of looking after your bed in the winter. Now in here, this is a rough bit of ground that I'm trying to improve, so I put in some field beans, green manure. So hopefully they'll grow over the winter, put down the roots, and then we just cut it and dig it all in early spring. If you're wondering what this bit is, the pumpkins were growing over that earlier and I couldn't plant them, but I've got some plant tucked away in the polytunnel, and I'll redo those rows to finish them off. Right, next way, protecting your bed, and Nick the Gardener's in bed wormery. And all I've done is got a bucket with a lid that you can take on and off like that, drilled holes in the bottom, quite a few 9mm holes, let the worms in and out. Then I put some horse manure, had lots of worms in it, in the bottom, and then I'm just topping it up with things you would normally compost, and hopefully that'll work well. Pick that back up so the wind doesn't blow away. And this bed, the way I've protected this one is put down a layer of cardboard and then horse manure on top of that, and hopefully the worms will get in there and help break that down. Beauty. So that's the second way, isn't it? Now the third way, if you're organised and a better gardener than me, is to actually have things in your bed. I've only got a couple of things in the beds at the minute because, not knowing and being a beginner, I hadn't really figured that bit out yet. But I've got some leeks and they're looking lovely, and just starting to harvest them. Lovely. So that's the next way of protecting your bed. Have something grown in it. On to the next one. Now, the next one is in here. I've put down a layer of horse manure and then a layer of straw on top, and I've just netted that down with a bit of this is the netting they put around scaffolding, all right, debris netting, and just pinned them in with some staples. So that's the third or fourth, anyway. And next bed along, this is where I've planted my garlic, and in here I've protected this with leaves. Went around, scraped up the leaves, and there again, just little staples to hold them down. Now this bed, I have got some beetroot and some turnips growing. So there again, something in the bed to help protect it. This bit here will have my onion sets put in soon. They're in the polytunnel, starting to grow. There again, I got a brassica bed. Well, if you can call it a brassica bed. I wasn't geared up to this. I've only got a few. And I can't for the life of me figure out why anybody would want to grow purple sprouting broccoli. It just, well, it hasn't done anything yet, and I can't see any purple sprouts. So if anybody's got any clue on that as to what happens with them, I'd much appreciate it. Finally, this bed here is just horse manure with wood chip on top, and hopefully in the future I'm going to build a dedicated onion bed here. Now, after the last look around, I listened to everybody's advice and I put a cover over me compost base to protect it from the rain. All right, so I do listen. I enjoy reading the comments, and like I say, I'm learning, so any advice gladly received. Now, this is Duncan's garlic in here, and I did it the way that he did. It's in one of these I don't know what you call them, box tub things, and I sieved a mixture of compost and soil in there, filled it up halfway, mixed in some fish blood and bone. Then I put I soaked the garlic in vodka to sterilize them. There should be some photos coming up now, I hope so, otherwise this is going to sound a bit stupid. Then I put them in there, topped it up with the sieve soil mix, and on top of this, to protect it, I've actually put a layer of vermiculite, and I watered that down just to hold it in place, otherwise the wind will blow it away. And eventually I'll cut down this layer of membrane that I put around the box. I mean, I did that just to stop the soil falling out the sides. All right, there's plenty of drainage in the bottom. All right, so that's Duncan's way of planting garlic with Duncan's garlic, which was much appreciated. Right, that's about it. Quick look around. I was fretting that these beans wouldn't come up, but they have. A bit sporadic, but considering the state of the ground, I'm proper pleased. So there we go. An amateur trying different ways to, oh, don't get your finger in the way, to protect me beds. If you've got any other ideas, any other suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Love reading the comments. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Cheers and go home.